Hi, I'm Mark Brown, Chief Marketing Officer for Flint Tech Solutions, your digital transformation specialist. And I'm speaking with Ken Barrett, Flint Tech Solutions founder and CEO, using the Teams app in Microsoft Office 365. Hi, Ken.
How you doing, Mark?
Pretty good. Folks, our offices are located in Wexford, PA. We're about 30 minutes from downtown Pittsburgh. And the reason for this conversation is the recent announcement out of Heinz Field, the home of the Pittsburgh Steelers, that they're switching to nearly all digital ticketing. That means if you want to attend an event there for all the major games, all the major gatherings, you won't be able to use paper tickets anymore, but digital ones. This is announced as a move to reduce counterfeits and to smooth field access. This is a big change, and Ken and I wanted to talk to you about it. I wanted to get Ken's input on it because there are several sides to this story. There are ups, there are downs, and we want to see how this is going to affect you. First, I have a few quotes from pittsburgh.cbslocal.com, and here's a reference to the fight against counterfeiting. Quote, "You see it every game," says Heinz Field Director of Communications Nick Sarro. "Unfortunately, people have found a way to take advantage of fans who want to come into the game, and it happens all the time. If we can save one family from getting stuck with fraudulent tickets, this is a success." Or as Baker puts it, "For our fans to know that the ticket they have on their phone is a legit ticket and they can get into the building as quick as possible is a big advantage for us. So instead of hitting print after buying your ticket from any of the major sellers like Ticketmaster, StubHub, or Vivid Seats," Baker says, "it's one click. You pull it up on your phone, save it to your Apple platform or your Google platform, and you're in." The Atlanta Falcons went to mobile tickets, and they've been able to cut out fraud almost zero, Sarah says. Ken, what's your immediate response to that?
Thanks, Mark. I think that, it's great to see that people are leveraging digital solutions to eliminate fraud, make it a strong buyer experience, make sure that their customers are enjoying or making the buying process easy as possible. And digital solutions such as mobile apps have allowed us to do that for quite some time now. But at the same time, my first reaction is when you make it accessible to everyone, I think that you're going to end up upping the game of the type of cyber attacks that you might get. So it's very convenient, but I think we've now eliminated crime at the lowest level from like physical crime, maybe stealing someone's wallet or something like that, going into a digital realm. You're going to up the potential impact of threats that might come along with that. So now you've eliminated that bottom rung, but now you've just moved into a different space where there's potentially higher risk to having higher skilled cyber experts going against you, or hackers, nation states, and so on. You never know now. And so I'm not sure that a lot of people are ready for that aspect. So that's my initial first thought.
Another quote from the article, quote, "We'll have mobile teams outside the venue to help folks in those first couple weeks to make sure it's the best experience you can muster," he said. Sarah says they are trying to anticipate the what ifs. What if your phone dies? You don't have a smartphone. We have a guest services team that will help you, he said. End quote. What do you think about that service, Ken?
Yeah, that's smart. You have to have something. You have to have contingencies for no power, no phone. In the stadiums, they spend a lot of money or invest a lot of money into infrastructure, network infrastructure, to make sure that people can't connect to their favorite social media while they're at the stadium. And sometimes the bandwidth gets crushed there. So, having someone still around to do a manual process of a ticket, or maybe even someone, as you know, there are people that have flip phones out there, and for some on purpose and some not. But that's a great idea, and again, that's very customer centric, and that's what digital transformation is about too.
Now, you say digital transformation. What do you mean by that? Because that reflects a lot of what FinTech does.
Yeah, digital transformation is where companies build strategies and implement solutions to better, service their customers, increase their productivity for their employees, increase their products, their brands, and again, increase operation efficiencies. And so That's just obviously more than just building a website or even just having a mobile app. It's a complete strategy of your entire ecosystem, your business solutions, and how you can impact your marketplace. Our customers are smarter now, and they need information quickly, and your products need to be working. So this example of this digital app and make it accessible, we just talked about a few different aspects, right? At FlintTech, we talk about our 4 pillars. We talk about our managed services, our digital marketing, our application development, and cybersecurity. This group here at Heinz, venue has considered some of those aspects, and we encourage companies to look at their digital transformation strategies this way because it captures the total picture. And so at FlintTech, we highly recommend that people consider how they do digital transformation, and we enable people to do that. So we talked about security in one aspect today, about making sure that people secure these applications, but we also talked about the customer experience too at the same time.
So this move by Heinz Field really is an example of digital transformation at work.
Absolutely, 100%. It's the customer experience from making it convenient, but also what if has also been addressed, and they're able to help people who don't have smartphones, or if they lose network connectivity or the application crashes, they've addressed that. But then they've also started to think about the cyber aspect too of what would happen if there was a data breach, and people really need to think about that. And I just mentioned before that we have to go in a little bit more detail about that cyber aspect, and that's where we come in, where we would analyze what potential threats there are, and are people really ready if something would happen, and how they would respond to that. And that's what we do at FlintTech with our digital transformation strategies and our cybersecurity pillar.
Now, with a move like this, pretty much all of their major events, tickets will be digital. That means that they've just moved a huge, huge portion of their customer base to the cloud.
Yes.
What kind of steps, in your opinion, would be necessary to safeguard people with that kind of a move? I mean, do you have to employ an entire security department of your own? Would you suggest that they use a managed service provider? I mean, how do you guard that many people suddenly moving into the digital realm?
It's not as easy as it sounds to do. I think it does take a lot of planning. I'm sure that they've done that. You have to protect the customer, their identity. You have credit card information happening, transactions happening. So they're going to work with their third party providers to make sure that data is encrypted, to and fro. Education is always a big one, making sure that the customer understands what's involved too, without choking out the buyer experience, and making sure they know that their information is safe and how they protect themselves. But then there's a lot of back end work, for the ticket masters and these StubHub and all these different groups, working together to make sure that data is encrypted, or it's safe and secure. And then again, there's assessments that probably went into this, where they understood the impact or the likelihood of a breach and how they can prepare for that. And then you need someone to put proper controls in place, to make sure that these vulnerabilities and risk are minimized. And then you also need a group of people that would maintain, manage, detect, and respond to ongoing threats. And so managed services, managed cybersecurity services, and proper planning it will help eliminate that, or at least reduce the risk, I should say, and exposure, and obviously protect the customers, protect the organization, protect the experience, so that everyone feels safe when they're purchasing your product or solutions or your services. And I would say that your last point, Mark, would be that yes, you can ratchet up a cybersecurity team of your own. It'd be very expensive. It's really good to partner up with people like FlintTech, and other providers out there who have experienced, analysts, also professionals, CIOs and CISOs, chief security officers, ready and available to help with the planning stage, the assessment, implementing the controls, and then obviously supporting ongoing efforts in reducing risk to cybersecurity. So.
And we had to talk about this because we both live right here in Pittsburgh. The stadium is just down the road, Heinz Field. So this was a big change, and we wanted to talk about this because it's going to affect people we know.
Yes.
And if we end up at the game, it's going to affect us too. And you can't take cybersecurity lightly anymore. It's such a huge thing.
Yeah.
Ken, thanks for talking to us about this for a few minutes.
My pleasure, Mark. Thank you for the opportunity to talk with you about it.
If you have questions about how to migrate your e-commerce like Heinz Field did and to do it with the most effective security possible and the best marketing, let us hear from you. Write to ken@flinttech.com or visit flinttech.com. You can reach us there too. Try our chat. It's new, it's improved, and we want to hear from you. Our new Director of Cybersecurity, Brian Ruff, who has civilian, military, and state cybersecurity certifications, is working with our digital transformation team to bring fully into the digital age. Whether you're a small or medium business or an individual, we can help you. Remember, at Flint Tech Solutions, our goal is to help you do business better. Visit flinttech.com.
Thanks, Mark.